Oh, I got to do the intro.
Yeah.
Weekend at Effie's is back after a 1-week hiatus, and we've got all the juicy gossip about the UK, about gain, about chlorine fires, about hurricanes, about going to the steel stacks, about having fun, about finding your blessings, and about following your heart even when it's tired. It's all here. weekendateffys.com for more. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, tell your grandma, force somebody to play it over and over on their Spotify to up our rankings. Whatever it takes, we're here for you. You're here for us. It's magic. Welcome to Weekend at Effie's. Do you remember that movie with Hugh Jackman, The Greatest Showman?
Yes.
Should we watch it again? It's
It
almost The Greatest Showman.
It would be the first time for me on that
What?
one. Yeah.
This is me. You never seen that?
No.
You never seen a drag queen perform it?
Mm,
When the fans are, you
I don't know
let
if
me
I would recognize it enough to know that that would be
When
what
your
was.
fans are, you around. This is no apology. This is me. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I love The Greatest Showman. I think I'm going to watch it again. I think you should watch it with me.
Okay.
Hugh Jackman, he's the greatest showman. It's about Barnum and Bailey, the circus. We're not doing the movie episode anymore, are we?
No.
Dang it.
No.
I just wanted to talk about movies like you can on our Patreon, weekendateffys.com. We're booting it out with a huge mega review of our Movie John movie of the month, Dr. Giggles, for the spooky Halloween time. We've got a massive praising review for Francis Ford Coppola's epic Megalopolis, which we called Megaslopolis, and a stunning reveal, full spoiler review of when I went to see Joker Folie à Deux, my film of the year. So if you want to learn more, if you oh, I'm Dr. Giggling myself. If you want to learn more about those films from our wonderful educated minds, please go to weekendateffys.com for puppy content, early access, merch discounts, and more. And it keeps us from having to put advertisers on this podcast more than we have to. I'm going to put some of them on here. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm going to advertise a bunch of stuff on here. Here, can I advertise something on here? I got these sunglasses coming out. They're not here yet. They were in pre-order only, so we had some pre-orders. And they match the side of my motherfucking head that says Effie is fine. Do you believe Effie is fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to believe it or it's not true. Okay? I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Last week we weren't as fine. I didn't feel like recording. We took a little week off, okay? I just gotten back from this country called United Kingdom, called England. Well, it's not part. England's part of the. It doesn't matter. I went to England. We're going to talk about that. Then I went to. You remember where Jesus was born?
Bethlehem.
Yeah, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Went to the Steelworks in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which I showed you pictures of. Very cool.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. We love a gorgeous venue. We need a gorgeous venue. We are here today to celebrate. Well, you can see we have if you're watching the visual podcast, which you should, we have a pumpkin, we have dogs, and we have our spirit. Our spirit is here. Do you remember when I went to England?
Yeah, sort of, kind of.
It's a long time ago.
We also had like a small disaster that continues to. We got hurricaned and then chemical fired like back to back.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that chemical fire because I got to tell you, I don't think the government is going to protect us from the future. They have said that this hurricane coming through this week to Florida, which, I've texted a lot of my friends in Florida, right? And it does seem there is a necessary attitude of fuck it, let's see what happens, because there's no gas or supplies or ways to get out of the state. So everybody's just kind of having to riff with it. They've said it's mathematically reached the limit of what the earth can produce. Yeah. I got to say this, and I say it a lot, and it's usually in a jesting manner. We may have fucked the earth up. We may have ruined it. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you guys, the problem is the earth will continue, okay? But much like when I get a heavy fever or I'm coughing and spitting up and throwing up, the disease will not survive. And we, in fact, are we're parasites of the Earth's body. We will not survive. So just prepare yourself. Get ready. Get ready for the Judgment Day. That's one of the songs from Joker, Fully I Do, my film of the year, that you can listen to. But also get ready for the Judgment Day. We are fucked. The weather is only getting more out of control. It's going to be the hottest year it's ever been. And then it's going to be hotter next year. And then the hurricanes, they're coming at a very rapid pace. Okay.
It's 79 and it's October 8th.
Well, you know what? There was a nice breeze this morning, though, when I
There was
let
a
the
nice
dog
breeze this
out, and that
morning.
was good. But, you know, it's who knows how long we have left. What a blessing to be able to support my family here on, you know, pure entertainment. But I got to tell you, I'm pretty ready for when, you know, when shit hits the fan, okay, we're going to build a brigade. And we're going to build an underground bunker, or we're going to steal yours if you have a better underground bunker. And we're going to be Mad Maxing through society. And we're going to steal all of your goods and resources, because selfishness is the only way to live in a world that is falling apart. Right? Or should we help others?
We should probably help others.
Oh, fuck. Hate it. Hate that for us. I did go to England, though, before the last hurricane, which I really thought I'm not going to make it to England, because it was supposed to make landfall the same time I was taking off.
Yeah.
Which it did. We still took off.
Yeah.
We said, we're out of here. So like 5 p.m. on a Thursday, I left to go to England, and I woke up in England Friday morning.
Do we want to do questions first?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do
I forgot we've been
questions.
doing
Let's take a
questions
little
first.
England
This is
break.
good. This is good. I need someone to keep me on track. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking about Joker, Folie à Dieu.
Okay.
You know, Folie à Dieu is the shared madness of two.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember Fall Out Boy when they had that album?
Yes.
It was the last album before they got reprogrammed by AI. Did you know that? Much like when Maroon 5 sold their soul over to the corporate devil music machine, since Folie à Deux, that's actually Fall Out Boy's last record, because they were digitally scanned and put in through the AI systems, and then all of their music coming forward has been AI reproductions of sounds they've already made. Did you know that? It's kind of a rumor.
Ugh. Is that true?
To
I
me,
believed it.
To me, it's
I
true.
believed it.
To me, it's true.
Well, since we're talking about the weather, what are your thoughts on the Be NATO 3-part event on ABC's 911?
Okay, I have been trying to watch 911 for a while, and I keep not doing it. But every scene I see from any of the 911 franchises looks fantastic. On 911 on the scene, and he has to prove that this guy's been beating his daughter, right? And so he provokes him into hitting him so that he can be arrested for assault, so that they can have him contained. And Rob Lowe takes that punch to get the job done. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then there's one, and it's I think the Texas one, Dallas 911.
Okay.
A woman gets a harmonica stuck in her mouth. And when they're asking her questions, like, ma'am, are you okay? She just goes, like a harmonica's in her mouth, because it is. Really good prosthetic work on the harmonica stuck in the mouth. She's got it's stretched to its limits. So as far as the Be NATO goes, I thought you were about to get into a real classic government question, because Be NATO just sounded like something I needed to know more about. And it is. It's a bee tornado. I'm very excited to see how 911 responds to the bee tornado. We're tuned in. We're tuned in day one.
Thank you, Julie, for that one. What kind of pants does a psych wear? Paranormal pants.
What? Okay. Okay.
Do I not get that one? Am I still brain rotted from Megalopolis?
I think it's just normal pants, but it's
Normal
paranormal pants,
okay.
because they're psychic.
God.
You know?
Yeah.
You remember Paranorman? Good film.
Paranorman.
Good film.
Good
you know they're
film.
not making a sequel to Monster House? The fuck?
I thought they were.
Apparently they're not. Apparently it's shelved. Fucking fuck you. Monster House rules.
I loved Monster House.
God.
Are you gonna go see the robot movie?
What?
The brave robot, the wild robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Lupita Nyong'o?
Yeah.
I listened to her interview on Marin, and she got me real fired up about the wild robot. That's a wild robot. It's like if Wall-E wasn't a bitch. Wall-E wanted to be wild. He wanted to be with Eve, but you know what he ended up doing? Being a bitch. Wall-E, certified pussy boy.
Is that is the official statement?
Wall-E, here's my official review. Wall-E, certified pussy boy. Couldn't get it with Eve. Wouldn't even fuck one of them giant people in a chair. It's just a loser. Wall-E, say something else, you fucking loser. Saying your own name over and over. Yeah, I'm going to go see the wild robot. Pretty excited. I don't know when. Got to make plans.
Is cheesecake better than cheesesteak?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I love cheesesteak. Don't get me twisted. One time, I think I brought this up with Charlie Tiger and the cheesesteak, where he said, what kind of cheesesteak do you want? I said, I want a cheesesteak. And then he said, do you want a taco cheesesteak? Do you want a mango cheesesteak? I said, I want a cheesesteak, but when I want cheesecake, you can add as many toppings as you want. Cheesecakes go with all toppings. You know that Philadelphia, they make the cheesecake filling? Mm-hmm. It's not illegal to just buy it and eat it.
Yeah.
You can just eat it with a spoon.
Yeah.
I used to buy a crustless cheesecake from Publix, which is just the cheesecake mix. That's pretty awesome. I would eat it with a spoon. I think cheesecake's the top food. I think custard's the only food that's better than cheesecake. You like a chocolatey cheesecake or you like a berry cheesecake?
I'm not a cheesecake.
What?
I don't like cheesecake.
What?
I don't like cheesecake.
Huh?
I don't like cheesecake.
What about it? The thickness?
Nah, just
the tangy of the cheese?
No.
The cold?
No.
I could eat a whole cheesecake
It's
right
not
now.
desserty enough for me.
What? When I go to Cheesecake Factory, I like to get a slice that's a tangy, citrusy berry slice, and then I like to get a chocolatey slice. Got to get 2 slices. Love cheesecake. Would eat it with every meal. Would have cheesecake as the meal. You think you can do a savory cheesecake? I'm asking the wrong person.
You are.
You know,
Yeah.
like a bone broth cheesecake with like a light. You know the bonito flakes of the fish. Mm-hmm. You can do those on top, like a fishy cheesecake. Maybe I've gone too far.
You probably would love the recipe book from The Substance and eat every meal, unironically.
Okay, there was a lot of good food in that scene. What was that weird? It looked like cheese cum.
Yeah,
that she kept making.
Yeah.
I would eat the fuck out of that on some crusty ass bread. Are you kidding me? God, I need it. I need it in my bones.
I love when you talk about meals you ate or made. Any chance we could get monthly Patreon recipe posts or food photos?
Oh, we should. You know what I made yesterday? I made a Hawaiian fried rice, and it was so good. It was too spicy, and I still ate most of it. I got to tell you, I'm shooting from the hip when I'm cooking, right? So I'm just like looking at what I have, and I'm making decisions. Pretty good, though? You think it's pretty good?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I like to cook.
Yeah.
I like flavor.
Yeah.
We have somebody left that South African smoke seasoning here from Trader Joe's. Bottles of that are going for like $60 online.
That's crazy.
Because they only made it for one season, and then people love it so much because it's a very wide-leafed smoked paprika. Like the peppers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's not ground down all the way, and then it's smoky, and it's got a little garlic. It's giving jollof rice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the smoky kind of
totally,
spicy on that.
totally.
You know. I can make African references to you, my African friend. Yeah, we should put up some recipes. I do have a recipe in that indie wrestling cookbook that I've never made for you, which is Mexican Christmas steak with sour cream rice.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I should make that.
Yeah.
We have a crock pot too, don't we? No, we'll get one. They're like $5.
Yeah.
We can get a crock
Yeah.
pot.
I'm like missing a part of it and I don't know how, but it's also probably somewhere in the basement. It's just like moving.
Yeah, just you move stuff. We'll figure out what part you're missing. We'll get a new part. We'll part it. We're not
Okay.
parting with it.
We have to settle a debate.
Okay.
Who's a better hotter Dracula, excuse me. Who is the hotter Dracula? Christopher Lee or Bela Lugosi?
Hotter. I think it's Bela Lugosi, but I think it's because I'm not into Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
But I mean, do we not think Skarsgård's going to eat them all up?
Yeah, so 100%.
Like we're asking this question now, and we can have the discussion. Who played the original Nosferatu? Who was that guy? I think I'd let him suck my nipples.
Let's see. Max Schreck.
All right, Max Shrek, you can suck my nipples. I'll allow it.
Oh.
What year did Bela
Oh.
Lugosi die?
Let's see.
I'm looking it up now. Bela Ferenc de Soblasko. 1956 he died. Hungarian America. Wow.
Yeah, I think Lugosi's going to have to take it.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. Look at him. And he did the weird lip thing. He used to dress up like Dracula for the kids.
Oh, young Lugosi, super hot.
Let's see. Let's get a look at this. I don't want to discount Christopher Lee, but he is a bit of a... Yeah, he is. Wow, what is that? God. He's wearing this, like, biker hat.
Yeah.
Looking like Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando's looking like him. Yeah, he's a great Dracula. Yeah, we will have sex with Bela Lugosi.
Okay, I just found an incredible photo. It's young Bela Lugosi playing Jesus for a stage production in Hungary in 1916.
I'm looking it up now. Wow. Yeah, that's a fuckable Jesus. I mean, you want to talk about somebody I want to see hung up on a cross just to get a good look at him. You don't have to kill him, but let me get a good look at him up and down. Put him up there. Put him on a pedestal. Let me see him flex those arms out. Let me see those abs crinkle. Let me see that little diaper. Put that little diaper on, Jesus. Yeah, so we picked Bela Lugosi, but I will say I would fuck Sauron. Saruman? Saruman.
Sauron? The eye?
Not the eye. Saruman.
I'd
Christopher
fuck the
Lee.
eye.
You'd fuck the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think the eye would fuck you?
No.
It's like a two-prong.
What's it going to do? It's an eye.
I don't know. You've never heard of being eye fucked? Ah!
Okay, this is our last one.
All right.
What do you call a young sheep wrapped in plastic?
I don't know.
Laminated.
That's good. I was going to say euthanized, but that's because you is a sheep too.
You.
You get it?
Moo.
Moo, you.
Bah.
What sound does the cow make?
Cough, cough.
La vaca dice mumu.
Momo.
Okay. Wow. Great question segment. If you want to be a part of our question segment, you got to be on the Patreon, weekendateffys.com. How many times do I have to say it for you? If you can't afford the Patreon, let's say you're really going through it, right? You got like a tough year, you know, maybe your kids are starving. You can still leave a fucking review. So review the podcast, leave a cute, cool review, let people hear it, fuck up the algorithm. All right. We're taking it home. This is the best wrestling podcast in the world. What's your favorite move? Go.
Once again, it's going to have to be the upside turnaround.
That's the correct answer. Ding, 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 ding. I got to get a soundboard. I'm really pissed because I don't know if you know my immortal rival, my full-blown enemy, my former friend, Mance Warner. He gets to do the soundboard on Steph DeLander's podcast.
Ooh.
So I'm trying to
I'm sure it's not annoying at all.
it's not annoying at all because it's cool. And I wish we had one. Are you saying we don't get a soundboard?
I'm saying I don't trust Mance Warner using a soundboard. That doesn't sound like a good time. That's
No.
more points why you should listen to this podcast and not that one.
Because there's no soundboard.
There's no soundboard.
I don't know how it works, but we're not going to get a soundboard. I just found out. And if that makes you sad, then too bad.
See, you would figure out how to just make it make Shrek sounds, and then we'd be stuck with that for a while.
Shrek? Max, Shrek. You know Shrek 5's coming out.
Is it?
You know in England they have the Shrek experience. You can go through Shrek
Experience
Swamp.
Shrek?
Yeah, you can experience Shrek. It's right next to the London Eye, the big Ferris wheel.
Is it like the Wonka experience?
No. This is real. They trap Shrek and Donkey and Lord Farquaad and all the fairy tale creatures, and you can go visit them. Shrek 5 coming out next year. I don't want to reveal anything, but let's just say maybe you know somebody who's going to be in Shrek 5. I'm hoping this will work. I think this is my easiest way in. Yeah, pretty crazy that they're bringing me in for Shrek 5 to play, you guessed it, Shrek. I'm Shrek. It's not happening, is it?
No.
Whatever. I went to England. We're going back to this. Peter, do you care that I went to England?
I do.
I don't care. Because I go there all the time. I'm technically English now. We escaped the hurricane. We went to England. Now, it's going to sound like complaining, all right? But it's not complaining. But it sounds a little complaining. it took us a long time to get to Liverpool. Me and Sheik landed, and we had a wonderful friend named Paul pick us up to take us to Liverpool. And it took 7 hours because the traffic was so bad.
Oh God.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be a 3-hour drive, like just nice little countryside drive. And it took us 7 hours to get to Liverpool.
Why?
Just traffic. People in England don't really know how to drive, more than 10 miles an hour. It's like it's always the Queen's funeral there. Like they're always just like half on the brakes. So England, if you're out there, just drive your fucking car forward. Because I have to get to Liverpool, and you really held me up. Same thing happened to Allie. She didn't even leave till the next day, and she got there supremely late, but it's okay. I had Sheik with me. We got to the hotel, and I don't know what it is about a lot of the British foods. They taste fine to me, but they don't sit on my stomach very well.
Right.
So me and Sheik were like, well, we're going to eat Italian instead. And we had a full Italian feast when we got to Liverpool of a pizza each and a pasta dish each. Did we eat it all? Not entirely. Did we like having the option there of what we were going to be able to eat? Yeah, we loved that option. It was beautiful, a marvelous night. Went to bed early because the next day we were about to begin the 2-day big gay brunch. Now, you probably saw a lot of stories, news. We were covered all across the world. But I gotta first talk about Gain. You know about Gain?
This is Gay Bane?
Gay Cane.
Gay Cane.
Yeah, close. You were close. So originally there was Cain, and Cain he's a demon murderer of his parents, and he's the brother of the Undertaker, and he's
the brother taker?
Well, he is the brother taker because now he's like a racist, homophobic, misogynistic mayor in Tennessee. Like that's who the person. Yeah, he's the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, and he's just like the most vile, racist piece of shit there ever was. Like, I'm hoping one of his kids like thinks it would be funny to replicate what Cain did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't say that. Yeah. It's all in mystery. It's all a myth.
It's a Bible story.
So this fella Cain, like he was a lot of people's favorite wrestler because he's cool and he's strong and he's big and he does cool moves like choke slam, sidewalk slam, jumping slam. So everybody's like, oh, it really sucks. Like Cain is such a raging homophobic, dirty street sucking Republican now. We should fix that. So it was fixed by Blue Cain, who's the opposite of Red Cain, because Red Cain was in the fire. So Blue Cain is in the ice. He's the icy Cain. And so it's the opposite because it's Blue Cain. But then he got a cease and desist because they said you can't be Blue Cain because we own Cain and we are a company run by at the time, run by this, incredibly sexual 85-year-old man who's been raping and assaulting people for a long time. We see that in the Netflix documentary, which AJ watched that and he said, GCW's been around a long time. I see it in the Netflix documentary. I go, where do you see that? And he was talking about Georgia Championship Wrestling when Vince was buying up all the territories in the 80s and owning people because he didn't want to have competition. So after Blue Cain gets a cease and desist, we're all a little worried. How do you even create art anymore if Cain is going to take us out and he's racist and homophobic and misogynistic, but we still want to have Cain? So then we figured out we have to make Cain gay. So Gay Cain, aka known as Gain. Now he didn't kill his parents, but they're not speaking anymore. And his parents actually do wish he would burn in hell. And that fuels the rage and desire of Gain, who is Cain, but he's gay. So he's Gay Cain. So he's Gain. And Gain did debut at Effy's Big Gay Brunch TNT UK Liverpool 2 in the Rainbow Rumble. And he came out to Gain's theme song, which is the beginning of Cain's theme song, but then I'm Coming Out. And then he does his famous Cain fire pose. The famous fire pose where he goes like this, and then the fire comes out, but he goes like this, and then he's gay. It's Gay Cain. Right?
Wow.
Now, you may be wondering, like, oh, are you doing this to make fun of Cain? Are you doing this to make fun of Glenn Jacobs? Are you doing this? No, we're doing this because he took away what we loved. What we loved was Cain. We loved Cain. But then Cain said, I don't love y'all back. Actually, I hope y'all don't have rights. Actually, I hope you're stripped of your rights of womanhood, of self-autonomy, of marriage. I hope you're stripped of all your rights And I'm going to make sure of it because I'm the demon monster, Cain, and I care about families. And we said, fuck you. The real demon monster who cares about families is Gain. And Gain will represent us forever. Gain. Now, I haven't done a big gay brunch in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why that is? Because it's very stressful and it's emotionally depleting. And it's hard to not sound like a whiny little baby sluppy when I'm talking about this. Because you're like, how fucking hard is that? Put on a gay wrestling show. It's the hardest thing ever done. They did a brain surgery on someone who was comatose for over 100 years, and they woke them up, and they said, thank God that's all we had to do instead of having to run a gay show. Because emotionally, I don't think we could handle that. Right? Am I being dramatic? Maybe? Well, this one was marvelous. And honestly, TNT has been great to work with because I barely have to do anything, right? I don't want to discount my involvement. Being EFFY, though, I think sometimes is enough. And I have to reflect on that and I have to acknowledge that. And even people hearing that in their ears right now, they're probably going, ooh, that sounds crazy. Does it? Does it sound crazy? Or does EFFY have to drive his own tour bus and carry his own bags and be in the match and sell his merch and get you over and get you booked and run another show so you can have a chance? Do I have to do all that or can I just be EFFY? Right? Maybe there's a balance in there, a balance of what I should be doing, a balance of what I can do, a balance of when I'm being maybe a little too dramatic. Yeah, just run the gay show, kid. Run the gay show. No, I'll do it when it's set up right for me. And this was set up so right for me. Thank you, TNT. Thank you for making this great. Now, the first night, there was a lot of matches on the card. Alley Catch won the women's belt. Pretty magical. She did lose it the next day, but it's, neither here nor there. But the main event was something, I'm pretty opposed to it. I'm opposed to what we did in the main event, which is why I had to go all the way. Because I had someone who was claiming that they were straight, main eventing a gay show with me. That seems out of line, right? And so I said, well, we're going to do it my way then. Charles Crowley, if you want to be on my show, you have to be in my gay sex dungeon match. Do you know what a gay sex dungeon match is?
No.
Neither did I until I made it up. Because what it is the first person who consented to be in the match, which we both did at the beginning with the consent gorilla. Do you know about a consent gorilla?
No.
It beats you up if you don't consent.
Oh.
Or you're
So
not forced to. You're not forced to.
Consensual gorilla.
It beats you up if you do something you don't want to do because you consented to it. Okay, it doesn't matter because the consensual gorilla, which I brought out to make us both consent to the match.
Is this wrestling's version of an intimacy coordinator?
The consent gorilla. Yes. But also I was tricked because the consent gorilla was actually Alexis Falcon, who is Charles Crowley's partner in crime. And then they tried to make me eat the gorilla's pussy because they thought that would make me tap out. Let me just tell y'all something. All right. Preferring pussy does not mean you won't eat pussy. Let me say that again for the people who aren't listening. Preferring pussy does not mean you will not eat pussy. And I ate that gorilla's pussy and I did not give up. And at the end of the night, you know what happened? I spanked and I spanked and I spanked and I spanked. And then I just stuck my whole hand down the back of his pants until he gave up. And I oil checked his ass consensually until he said the safe word, which was banana, which was chosen before I knew the consent gorilla was actually an enemy in disguise. Okay. And I had to do what I had to do to put him through it. And I think there's no better gay brunch experience than forcing a straight guy to go through all of the things it takes. There's a lot of straight people who come to me and they go, well, maybe there's a place for me on the brunch. Maybe there's a spot. So I feel like I had to make an example of Charles Crowley so that you motherfuckers would stop asking me. And so what did I do? I spanked that boy's bottom until he couldn't take it anymore. And then I just stuck my whole hand in there. All right. Am I going to tell anybody what I felt? No. Am I going to tell anybody that I think Crowley enjoyed it? No, I'm not going to say that. Am I going to try to hide the footage of me wearing a giant strap-on being flipped off the top rope via the false penis? Okay, no, I'm not going to hide that footage. It happened, okay? Is it extremely embarrassing to know that this footage of me with a giant 3-foot cock hanging off of my pubic area is never going to measure up to what's actually there? No, I'm not ashamed, okay? All right. I know the purpose of these things. Am I proud of what we did at the Big Gay Brunch? Yes. I'm so proud. We had the Rainbow Rumble. It was magic. Che Monet won the Rainbow Rumble. And guess what? They were going to cash that thing in the next day. Now, after the show, we went out. We hung out with people for a while. It was good. I love Liverpool. I ended up hanging out in Liverpool a lot. There's lots to do out there. It's definitely, you know how like there's like there's like a whippet problem in our country.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's like a real whippet problem over there.
Oh,
but
God.
they only use the Chargers. So there's just like hundreds of Chargers in the street.
Oh, God.
And everybody's walking around between these bars with balloons in their
Oh,
hands.
God.
Yeah. So if you think the whippet thing is just a here thing,
Jesus.
everybody's doing whippets everywhere.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No one's going to have spinal columns anymore.
Well, okay. Guess what happens if you have a spinal column? You take the substance, and then guess what grows out of your spinal column? The younger, more perfect version of you. And then guess what? It kills you. So what do you really want a spinal column? Think of the dark road that is. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to want to destroy his spinal column with gassing fluids. And if he doesn't, he's going to take the substance. You can only take it once. So think about that. No, Liverpool was great. We hung out, had a wonderful evening, and then had another gay brunch show, which this night, we had some things occur. And do you know what piles are in England?
No.
Apparently it's hemorrhoids. So Charles Crowley couldn't make day 2 because he said I gave him piles through my fingering stunt. And so he called out due to piles. So we ended up having to fight some other guys. We fought Critchy and Tom, and they're a tag team called FTM, which means finely tuned machines. Now, I did pull them aside and explain to them I've heard the phrase FTM before, and that hasn't been what it meant. And I may have booked them on the show, the gay brunch, thinking it meant something else, for Pride. And then I booked it, and it's just 2 loudmouth slapjaws from the Scouser area. Have you ever heard I'm going to just give you we're just going to pull up a little clip of Critchy talking so you can understand what the fuck he's trying to say. Let's see here. Can we get a promo from you, Critchy, of your voice? Here we go.
I haven't slept for 3 days.
Oh, my God.
We couldn't run a match. I haven't been going to plan, but I've still got hold of this baby. You know what I mean? I haven't been pinned for a week, and this belt is staying in Liverpool.
Oh, wow. So, imagine calling a match with people like that. It's incredible. And you start talking like that anyway. I can't do it now. You have to be around them to talk like that. Either way, I teamed up with 2 marvelous twinks, Benjamin Harlan, and why can't I remember his real twink name? We're losing steam here.
Uh-oh.
My brain doesn't know what's going on anymore. Jackie Knudsen and Benjamin Harlan, Act 2, teamed up with EFFY. And they all chanted EFFY and his twinks. EFFY and his twinks. EFFY and his twinks. And his twinks. And his twinks. EFFY and his twinks. We won the match. Because we had the power, the firing power of twinkdom within us. Right? I had fun. I had so much fun going to England again. It was wonderful. Came home, got home, my life has been cherished. I was a little too tired to record last week, though, which, flying to England, driving to Liverpool, doing 2 shows, flying back, not a lot of sleep. When's there time to sleep? We're hanging out with everybody. We made it back in time. And I made it back just in time to make sure everyone was safe from the hurricane here. And turns out then a chemical plant exploded and we were not allowed to go outside.
Yeah.
Because the chlorine.
Yeah.
Is burning our eyes.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really concerned because I never am because I'm stupid. And I went to the store that first day and I came back and I was streaming that night and my eyes were watering the whole stream. And I was like, oh, maybe it's from the lights. And then I went, you dumbass, you've been breathing in the burnt chlorine all day and it's ruining your throat and eyeballs. And the government did nothing about it. I just want to pull up the messages they sent because I thought,
I got hit by it pretty early. just like difficult to breathe, not sleeping well, and just this like 10 to 20% extra brain fog where nothing's like today is the first day I really like woke up and went, okay, I got pretty decent night sleep last night.
Yeah, I haven't been sleeping great. I won't lie.
It's like, it's just waking up tired. It's really, really fucking bizarre. And they did this beautiful, beautiful thing where they implemented a shelter in place outside of the hours of 9 to 5. So according to them,
9 to 5 is fine. Go to work.
Yeah, go to work.
But as soon as you're done with work, then it changes.
Yeah.
This is kind of it's the real. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
They're going against their own words. With your health and safety as our top priority, we're committed to providing precautionary guidance specific to Atlanta to keep you informed as we monitor the situation unfolding in Rockdale County. According to the Atlanta Fulton County Emergency Management Agency, chlorine levels are safe in Fulton County and no advisories are in place. They're continuing to look, and then this is the paragraph after. The current weather models show the winds will begin to shift from the east to the west after sunset Wednesday. Smoke is predicted to settle towards the ground as it moves towards Atlanta. There's a high likelihood that people across metro Atlanta will wake up in the morning seeing haze and smelling chlorine. But it's fine, and there's no problem, and everything's okay.
Yeah.
There will be a haze of burnt chlorine covering your city, and it will burn.
This is maybe 5, 6, 7 days after the fire?
Yeah, this is continuing after the fire for a ways. But it's safe. It's totally safe. But also, there is going to be a pretty thick fog of burnt chlorine across the town that will burn your eyes. And if you have any medical or health problems, I would not go outside. But it's totally fine. It's safe. We're going to continue seeing more and more of this. I don't want this to turn into a political podcast, really. But the government is not going to help you. If there's a problem coming and you're waiting on maybe they'll support, they're not going to help you. You're done. If the chlorine plant explodes because the hurricane has come through Atlanta and it just blows up and there's a 100-foot plume of burnt chlorine in the air, it's probably fine. We tested it. You can definitely trust us. Please don't go outside. That fog is chlorine. It's burning your face, but it's safe. It's totally safe. We stayed inside for a few days, but there's only so much you can do. The dog still got to go outside to pee, and it's that's the other thing is it's nobody really fucking took it seriously, and so I start to feel like a crazy person seeing people walk their dogs, and I go, the dogs aren't going on walks this week, they're staying inside. Yeah, even if I'm a little bit full of myself and I'll kind of heed warnings, I'm not out here walking. They were just people just walking around as this is going on.
They're a little miserable right now. Lucy's skin problems had an uptick with this shit as well, and I'm sure part of it's the fact that she's been inside. We've been doing our best to keep them entertained and everything.
They don't understand why they need to stay inside.
No. And it is one of those it's just going back to fucking COVID where you go, I'm sure it's fine, but also I don't know. And then if I take a risk, what if I just legitimately fucked myself or someone else for the rest of the time I'm on the planet? I don't fucking know what this chlorine shit's going to do.
It's definitely fine. There might be some health problems. If they're saying that, it's sort of, you go, well, I think I know the risks, but it sounds like the risks are even worse than I can imagine, where they're just it's so bad if we told them they'd freak the fuck out.
And I don't know, I walked into the fucking store and immediately turned the AC off, and everyone's like, what are you doing? And I go, we can't have that on right now because of the fire. And they go, what are you talking about? And I go, y'all should at least know about this a teensy tiny bit.
Have they not been texting you?
And then people coming in the store and going, oh, it's hot and musty in here. And I go, you probably shouldn't be out right now. I don't I have to be here. But just
they need their fix.
Christ.
They need to fix.
When in reality, everybody should stay home and we should be getting, money in our pockets to make up for the work that it's just it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, how can we not hold these people to a certain? I don't know. It feels like they get away from it.
And then we've got it's not hitting us as bad, but who the fuck knows with this hurricane? And also if people are really leaving Florida, I can tell you where they're going. They're coming here.
They're not able to leave Florida. There's no gas.
Oh,
There's nothing in the
seriously?
stores. There's no gas. The flights have been price gouged, which
God.
Pete Buttigieg has said, we're watching the price gouging. Yeah, we'll watch it. But
Watch
it's-
it. Do something.
Force
more
force
than
the planes to
watch.
make them go out of here. We got to stop bailing people out. It's a nightmare. Nothing we can do will help. But if we don't do anything, it'll get worse. Does that make sense? Like nothing we do helps, but if we do nothing, it will get far worse.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Apathetic. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, it's, if we're not all feeling a little bit of like just human burnout right now, we're incorrect. Like if you're not feeling it, I want to know what drugs you're on.
Yeah.
Because there is human burnout across the plane. It's very hard to continue going out and like the earth is sort of just like falling apart, but like I'm going to go see Justice in 2 weeks and it's great. And I'm so excited and I'm going to vibe away. And then hopefully the air I breathe on the walk home will not kill me. How can I continue to just find little moments of joy while also knowing that the earth is crumbling around me? It's like, it has made me take my position very like with gratitude, where I'm like, what a beautiful time where like for the past 5 years, I've been able to make my living as a full-time performing entertainer. There's a lot of things I have to do that, but I'm also very aware of like, take it in while it's here. Cause in 10 years, we might not have water, the great water. I bring that up sometimes and people are like, you're being psychotic, but I'm like, yeah, like pretty much in an instant, the need for live entertainment could dissipate out of safety or hazard. And I have to just get ready for like finding resources. Like part of me is going like, I don't know if I could go back and work like a regular job. But then part of me is going, I don't think regular jobs are going to be a thing in like 5 or 6 years anyway. I'm kind of ahead of the curve, like I can't imagine it being worse outside and me thinking like, better go get on a pension plan for my family. It's a little hopeless, but we're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Who knows what we have left?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about when the comet hit in Megalopolis, or the satellite came down in Megalopolis. That's what it's going to be like. It's not going to hit there. It's going to hit us
They
in
really didn't
Megalopolis.
spend a lot of time with that section of the movie. Again, that movie was way too fucking long. It felt longer than it actually was, and yet it still felt like there was an hour missing.
It also felt like visually I kept looking at the same shot even though things were changing.
I know.
Megalopolis review. It's up on the Patreon. Check that out.
I mean, that is like just another thing to talk about, like trying to live your life as normally as possible, to where you go, okay, we can like take a break from everything that's happening and go watch this cinematic disaster with a whole bunch of history
Right.
behind and everything. And yet it is, for as bad as it is perfectly contextual within the time that we live in and thinking about these things, albeit not in a really intelligent way.
No, but
it is thinking about some things. And I think that is, again, like you can't really not feel it reflected kind of everywhere.
Yeah, I just wonder, and this is going to sound, I'm trying to phrase this so I don't get a call from the FBI. At what point do film sets for these $200 million budgets that are just going to lose money and are not good become like sort of a target for bioterrorists who are like, why are you spending $200 million sucking when the earth is collapsing in on itself and this is not good for us? I don't know. I don't know how much longer we can allow hundreds of millions of dollars to go into bad movies before people start getting irrationally angry. But maybe they just don't know what's going on. I mean, that's the thought I've had recently is like, I don't think anybody cares because nobody pays attention to anything except for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's fine if that's your way of getting away from it. But also, we're going to lose our minds much quicker by thinking about everything than just ignoring it and being ignorance is bliss, right?
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, let's ignore it. Let's ignore all of it. It's great. We love it. We love ignoring it. That's it. That's the magic. I did have a long week of rest, though, while we were being burned and tortured by the chlorine. I can't say that I left feeling very rested, but I did go out. And thank God, I scheduled this to just do one show the last weekend. And what a marvelous decision, because I don't think I've taken a week off in this year, maybe. Maybe I had 1 week off in March. I can't even really remember.
You had like a tiny break before some of the most insano shit that you did this year to
Okay.
where it almost didn't count because you would have needed to have that time
Yeah, like-
after the fact and not before.
Well, and I remember in July I had a weekend open, and then I said fuck it, and I took 2
Yeah.
bookings instead. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't.
It's been very go for you this year.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't want it to be, but also like part of me is going, okay, you're totally very blessed to be this busy and paid and taken care of, and like I'm not eating at the worst at a lot of these shows, right?
Right.
Like I'm not saying that it has to be comparison, but like compared to most of the wrestling industry, I'm doing extremely well. But also like there is this weird bar I'm hitting where I'm going like, as one person, are you at your limit? And that might be it. I might be.
Well, I mean, I guess just to contextualize it with what we were just talking about, what you are doing is acknowledging the fact that things are not great right now, yet saying, hey, look at all these blessings that I have. And I think that's what all of us actually need to be doing. Because it's, I still had to go into work this past week, but I could have been one of those poor construction workers that's tearing up Euclid right now. Because that's a month-long project for them, and they're hitting it right in the middle of all of this shit. And, I can't imagine what that would be like, really. And then, like, to continue to count blessings, how amazing it is that you had someone else set up so much of the stuff for the UK Big Gay Brunch to where you were even able to do that. But that is also indicative of the thing that you're realizing that you have kind of capped.
Right.
As far as what one person can physically do.
Yeah. And, even when I think I'm taking it easy, if I describe it out to people, it's like, what are you doing? And, we'll see where it goes. I think effort is always, the discoverer of blessings, but you got to make sure you're not putting effort into things too much that are bogging your brain down. Mm-hmm. And I think what I'm going to have to do, and this is like honest speech, but I think I'm just going to have to set my rate next year to where like some people will say no and be okay with it.
Yeah.
To where like, I need some of you to say this is too much for us to spend so that I will say no. And so that when they are saying yes, I'm covered in that way. I mean, my goal at the beginning of the year was wrestle 20% less for 20% more. And I think I wrestled 10% more for 10% more. But then there was like, financially, this job changes so much all the time that you really can't predict exactly what you're going to need or what you're going to have to do. And the second you try to put that rest period in, you're missing out on, like, I haven't restocked on merch in like a month, and I've had a lot of other bills. I've had a lot of other things to take care of. Luckily, I've had kind of the whatnot thing going on, but also like me taking a mental break from having to come up with merch and come up with things and have things shipped and do things is good. It's also bad because a month later I don't have restocked merch. You know what I mean? We're figuring it out. I don't have, someone leading me along on this path. There's a lot of us trying to do these things, but we're all doing it a little different. And, we're just going to have to figure it out. And sometimes frustration is the great innovator. So we'll see where it takes us. We'll see what it does. I did go do a show that weekend though. I'd never worked for LVAC before. They are technically a t-shirt company. And then a few times a year, they run these big steel stacks showdown shows that are like, I mean, there's probably, 1,500, 2,000 people there. It's this big Festivus thing. We got to wrestle Avery Good and Lucky 13 in a tag match that was very fun, but it was only one show. And luckily, I got to come home the next day. Thank God, I got picked up at the airport. I had options, but Charlie Tiger has been such a marvelous, in wrestling, I'm going to suggest the person who's helped me out, right? Like that's the old adage, but sometimes it doesn't pay off as much, but I hope it pays off for Charlie. Charlie's wonderful. Charlie picked up me and Jimmy Lloyd. We went and got cheeseburgers at Charlie's, which I think he likes going there because it's called Charlie's.
Yeah.
And me and Jimmy got a cheeseburger each. And I just got to tell you, Charlie Tiger got 4 cheeseburgers. He ate 3 of them and saved one for later. And I was like, this is incredible. Like I couldn't imagine eating that many cheeseburgers. And he just did it. He was marvelous. Drove us all the way to Bethlehem, knew where the Steel Stacks was, came in, helped out, teamed with Allie for the first time in a little bit. It was pretty good. Won the match, did great. Drove back to Philly, had a Hampton Inn. They took care of me extremely well. But also, friendship took care of me. Friendship is a taker carer of. And then I got to come home Sunday. That's why I woke up today and we're recording early and I thought it was Wednesday because we were recording, and then I woke up and I was like, oh, I got to leave tomorrow. I started getting my flight ready, and then I looked and I went, holy shit, it's only Tuesday. And this was really nice for me because this weekend my schedule is so stupid. I have to fly to New York Thursday night. Then I have to do a shoot Friday morning for the, and then I have to fly to Denver that afternoon and then wrestle there and then fly back to Philly and then drive to AC and do the War Games and then do another show Sunday and then fly home. I was going to fly in Friday morning, do the shoot, fly out to Denver, do the show, fly out to Philly. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go the day before. Luckily, I have friends in New York. Lovely Nick Karp's going to take care. I was trying to go see the Patti LuPone, Mia Farrow play, but the tickets, I was looking at them one day. They were very reasonable. And then I looked at them the next day. They were not reasonable. So I might have to sit that out. But I am going to make the most of it and go try to relax a little bit Thursday night. Try to enjoy myself a little Thursday night before we get smack dab in the middle of whatever crazy shit's going on. Because this is going to be nutso the next few weeks. The next few years, I don't know. My mom asked me in 2023 when I could take a break. I said maybe 2025, and now I'm going, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we look closer to 26, 27.
Yeah, sadly, when I made a pledge with the devil, one of the things I found out was that my blessings are not going to be in certain places. So as much as I wish I would just win on a scratch off and take 3 months off, it's never going to happen for me. That's not where my blessings are. It's not where I'm blessed. I've been blessed in many other ways that luck of the gamble is not where my blessings will ever be. Oh, well, what am I going to do? What am I supposed to do? We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out day by day, and we're going to figure it out more. I will say last week I did have a confront your past moment. For real, because our friend Austin was moving, and I said, you know what? I'll help you move. It's easy. We'll get a truck. We'll get it done. And there's one moment where we're like packing up the truck and leaving the storage unit, and I'm looking, and I just like flashed back to being like between 18 and 22 again. And I was back doing moving, and I was out on the trucks, and I felt like that person again. And I was like, oh shit, you've lived many lives. And it was wonderful to know that I had made a career in a life where I hadn't had to do that as many more times as I expected. I mean, I've probably been in 5,000 houses. I did the math one time. Between starting moving at 16, working every summer, except for one where I was out touring, and then becoming a manager of a moving company where I was visiting the houses beforehand and visiting the houses during. Like, I've been in so many people's houses for moves that like it was such a weird PTSD to be back in that position. And it didn't stress me out, but it was just sort of like, hey, you're just doing this to help a friend right now. This isn't 6 days a week of your whole life where you're just soaking out and freaking. I did remember I would sing a lot on the job though. So if you had to work with me while I was singing, sorry. It's easy to move furniture when you're singing. And just, it was hot. It was wet. That truck had no AC. It took me 4 hours round trip to get to and from fucking Kennesaw. And I was so happy this wasn't the rest of my life. And it felt great. The chlorine probably fucked us up too, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I lived. I'm alive. I'm here. You have anything to add, Peter?
Find where your blessings are.
Find where your blessings are. And don't be mad if your blessings aren't where you want them to be. There's blessings.
There's blessings.
You'll find them. We'll find them. Wow. This got heartfelt. Just like Megalopolis.
Yeah.